Hello, welcome to Phone Quarters Business School. My name is Dr. Matilda Nwoko, and today we're in our second week of our business foundations for business success. And this week, too, and we're talking about mastering business fundamentals. And this day, I think this is day 11. Yeah, day 11. So I'm going to talk about effective communication, speaking the language of success. As a business person, as an entrepreneur, what does it mean, to speak the language of success, to communicate effectively? So now, consider a business that fell through because of a misunderstanding, or an example of how communication directly impacts outcomes. Let's say, for example, maybe in your office, you didn't communicate properly to your staff. Let's even start with your staff, because if your staff don't get things right, then quit means they can't work well with you. So as a business person, you need to communicate well. If you want them, like, okay, let us say a baker, for example, you need them to bake bread without, let's say, fruits in it, and then you ask them, and then you didn't communicate properly, and then the person, now maybe your client wanted bread that doesn't have black currant or maybe fruits in it, and then they now added fruits to that, and maybe they made 100 loaves. Of course, your customer is going to reject that, and that's going to be a loss to your business, right? So it's always good to communicate effectively. Why people have problems that when people fail to communicate effectively, then there's a gap in communication, then quick means it's going to affect your business, it's going to affect your life, your personal relationship with whoever that person is. So it's always very good to communicate effectively in business. Effective communication is not just about speaking, it's about ensuring your message is understood as intended. Not just to speak. Ensure there's no distortion in the line, there's no distortion in communication. If there's distortion, which is noise, which means that communication, you didn't communicate effectively. So ensure people understand you. Like myself, I know I have that challenge. I talk fast, and when I talk fast, in the recent years, I began to realize that when I talk to people, they don't get it. So I try to slow down to be able to get them to understand me. And I used to reiterate and ask the person, have you understood what I'm saying? So in business, it's always good to communicate effectively and ensure that the person you're talking to understands what you are saying. If it's your staff, you're passing instruction, to ensure they understand what you're trying to communicate to them. Don't just assume they understand it. Ensure it is effectively communicated between you and your clients. Why you see people getting to fisticuffs? Because there is lack of communication. Communication broke down. There was noise on the communication channel, and when there is noise in the communication channel, things are not going to be well understood. And when communication breaks down, people get to say terrible things or come to fisticuffs, and anger rise. So you don't need that. So I pray that after this lesson, you will learn how to communicate effectively. Your ability to communicate clearly can be the difference between closing a deal and missing an opportunity. If you don't communicate effectively, you can miss a deal, and that's going to be a lost opportunity for you. So you need to learn how to communicate effectively as a business person. Ensure, that's why I tell people, think on paper. I like thinking on paper, as my offline Oma will say, Matilda, think on paper. So when you are talking with people, get a note, and write it down, so that they wouldn't deny it. They won't say, they will not know what I said. And when you are working, go to that blueprint where you're written down, and then work with it, and know that this is what this person said, this is what they want achieved, this is what they want done in whatever it is they're doing. So let's look at the essentials of effective communication. Clear, concise, and persuasive communication is essential in business. Clear, concise, and persuasive. It has to be clear, it has to be concise, it has to be persuasive. That is very, very effective in your business. Key elements include understanding your message. You yourself as even giving the message, you understand your message. Understanding the message, and then structuring it logically. Step 1, step 2, step 3. This is what is done. Now I want you to bake me bread. Now this is type of bread. This is the first step. This is the second step. Now you are teaching, if you're a coach, if you are teaching people, you have apprentices working with you. Even in your office, you want them to do something. Write it down. Let them follow the steps sequentially, step by step, and delivering it with confidence. Now one thing is to have to communicate, and then if you don't have the confidence in your communication, it's going to show. When you're like a mother, if you are not confident in what you're telling your children, they will know. they will know, and then they will not take you seriously. So likewise, your staff, when you're talking with them, communicate effectively and with confidence. Bold, be bold as a lion to say, this is what I want done. If I'm a client and I'm going to somewhere, why should I be afraid to say what I want? I'm paying for it, for Christ's sake. So why should I be afraid to say, this is what I want done, this is how I want it done? And the onus is on on the person I'm going to work with to say, okay, no problem, we're going to deliver to you. So you have to be concise. So you try to use simple language, avoid jargon. Don't do your mouth and tell them, use simple English, break it down. People will not go and start looking for dictionary to understand you. Please come down to the local parlance if need be, to communicate, to carry across your points effectively. And focus on your core message. Don't give so many instructions at the same time. Don't give as if you're a gunshot. No. Take it one at a time. Because at times, just like one of my sisters, if you call her she's in the health industry. So if you call her and say, oh, I'm having headache. She will just tell you, she will tell you what to do, she will tell you the English part, she will tell you the herbal part, she will tell you the scientific name. By the time she's done, you don't even know where to start. You get lost. So it's always good to follow and focus on a core message. Persuasive communication also involves understanding your audience needs and addressing them directly. If you want to talk to people who are maybe middle-aged, you should know how to talk to them. If you're selling something to them, you should know this is what they need and be persuasive about it. You don't, as I said earlier in one of the classes, I said, you don't go and start selling something. Maybe you start selling somebody, a man is having pain, talking about waist pain, arthritis pain, and all that, and then you are profiling and produce like to him. This is very good for your sexual. Hello, you're missing it. Or maybe you are selling something for adults and your target audience are children. It doesn't balance, it doesn't rhyme. So please watch it out there. Making your message more compelling. Make your message compelling. What will make people buy into what you're telling them? What will make them listen to you? You need to make it compelling by highlighting the important points to them. Now, adapting your communication style. Tailoring your communication style to different audiences is crucial. As I said earlier, your communication style, how you communicate to adults is not how you communicate to children. How you communicate to women is not how you communicate to like mature women. It's not the same way you communicate to young adult kids, maybe girls in their teenage years. So who are your audience? Learn how to communicate to your audience. So whether you are speaking to employees, your clients, or investors, adjust your tone, adjust your language, and approach to fit their expectations and needs. The way you communicate with your staff is not the way you communicate with your clients. So whoever you're speaking with, even at home, your spouse or your children, or your people have different understanding. They are, so the way of understanding differ. So you need to learn to communicate. Adapt your unique communication style when you're communicating with persons. The way you communicate with me cannot be the way you communicate to other persons. I might be very fast on the uptake. I might understand things very, very fast. Other people might not be able to understand things as fast as that. So you have to learn how to communicate with people. Adapt a unique style that can, carry across your message. This adaptability ensures that your message resonates with the audience, increasing the likelihood of achieving your desired outcome. If you don't communicate properly, you will not get your desired outcome. The results you are going to get will be disappointing at best. That's why at times you go to a tailoring shop, you see you seem stressed, the tailor and the client literally coming to blows. At times they are calling police for them because I want the waffles to be this way, and then the waffles are going west. So think on paper, communicate effectively with people. Now I want to talk about active listening. Listening is a fundamental part of effective communication. If you want people to understand you, ensure they listen. Even yourself, ensure you listen. When you're listening, you get the facts. Learn to be more of a listener than the talker. When you listen, you absorb and then internalize, and then you're able to now testify and say, yes, this is this. So it involves not just hearing words, but understanding the speaker's intent and emotions. When you listen, you understand the intent and the emotions. At times, when you just want to listen to the voice, you won't understand the intent and emotion. But when you listen, you get the emotions. Is this person really emotional about this thing? Is there passion about what this person is saying? But when you don't, when you're not an active listener, you will miss these things. You will miss them. Active listening fosters better relationships, reduces misunderstandings, allows you to respond more thoughtfully. It fosters better relationship. If people note you as someone that's always that woman will let me talk, I said she will talk, they don't want to come to you. But when you're an active listener, people want to come to you. Before you know, they are pouring their hearts out. So learn to be an active listener, and then reduces misunderstanding. When you won't understand each other well, like my pastor said that why a man will beat his wife or come to blows with his wife, because communication has broken down. Nobody was listening to each other. So it is important for you to listen to one another. So by prioritizing listening, you can engage more effectively in conversations and build stronger connections. So learn to listen intently, and then that will help you build better communications with people around you. So it's important for you to listen and then implement after listening. So finally, effective communication is key to success in all business interactions, both business and life interactions, private life interactions, in a marriage relationship, in any relationship at all. Effective communication is key. The Bible said two cannot work together except they be in agreement. That agreement is what? They communicating and they understanding each other. So I encourage you to focus on delivering clear, concise, and impactful messages, while also honing your listening skills. You have to hone your listening skills. By mastering the art of communication, you position yourself to lead, influence, and also to achieve your business goals. So that is it. So my name is Dr. Mantila Nwoko. I'm talking to you from Mukoda's Business School. So please listen. If you don't understand if you don't understand what somebody is telling you, ask the person to reiterate, ask the person to repeat it. Don't just assume they understand. It's essentially key that you learn to communicate. If you don't have a good communication skills, you don't have any business at all. You're going to keep having problems with people, and once you have problems with your clients, they are gone with the wind. Catch me if you can becomes a second name. You don't say, please, I don't want wahala with that woman. I don't want issues with that man. So you don't want your clients to talk like that. Even your children, if you don't understand them properly, they can't communicate with them properly, they begin to give you space, and that's not good enough. So you say, so you still start feeling bad. So before you start feeling bad, sit down and ask yourself, am I communicating effectively? Have I been an active listener? Have I been able to communicate my message concisely? Thank you very much for being part of this class. So check us out at Quarters Business School, Quarters.biz, or you can check me out at drmaterialcoaching.Quarters.biz. Thank you for being part of this class. See you in the next class. Go out there and apply all you have learned today. Thank you.